This poster has sadly gone viral in the last few hours. The campaign is very intense. It's the strongest one I can remember out of all the ones there have ever been. And there haven't been many within Madridismo either. We now live in a time of powerful social media, and its amplifying power is different from before. But I don't know, now I remember a few, and well, nothing like this, nothing like this. Welcome, Madridistas. How are you doing? And of course, I don't like it at all. I think it's really ugly. I don't want this. I don't want problems at Real Madrid, but well, here on this channel, you know that we tell it like it is. I don't want to highlight the ugly side of Madrid here. But well, this is what we're dealing with, guys. This is what we're dealing with. It's what has happened in Madrid. Mbappé has done something that I mentioned in previous videos that he shouldn't have done. The club has leaked their discomfort with the player, and we're in the week of El Clasico with the league already lost. And well, look, I would like to talk about other things, more positive things, but well, this is what's happening. It's true that social media is not a reflection of society. We've been saying that for a few years now, but I think it's more true every year. Maybe because right now, well, it's the platform where anyone can express themselves. It's true that it's not the same because here anonymity still protects some people who are very cowardly and so on, and it's not the same as real life. But hey, look, I mean, some people might say, where does this come from? Well, unless you don't live in this world, right? Well, this is a photo of Real Madrid, and it's not just something they've done with Gonzalo's tweet. It's like what Madrid does every day, right? They tag the account of a football player and post a photo from training and so on, and that's it. But I mean, not just with this one, they started with this, then they continued with others, they've kept going with other photos, and now on other accounts. And anything that sounds like Real Madrid, they slap that image on it, the one of out, Mbappé and Mbappé out. And of course, but some things I'm not going to repeat. No, I'm not going to repeat everything, but well, you can imagine it, right? I insist. I remember campaigns because one thing doesn't cancel out the other. I mean, I was telling you, have I said anything in this video? Because I know I always get ahead of the comments. Man, I've read so many comments during these almost 5 years I've been on the channel. But have you fueled this? No, no. One thing is, and it's perfectly compatible, to criticize what Mbappe has done. Madrid criticizes him. You tell me they're leaking it to Jose Felix Diaz so he can report it, right? One thing is to criticize what Mbappe has done or not understand how suddenly he takes a vacation during the May long weekend. Hey, the team still with a lot at stake. He arrives 10 minutes before the game starts, there with his private jet at the airport. I mean, this was explained in the previous video, and that's just unacceptable. I mean, no one can explain it to me, not even the biggest fans of Mbappe or the most loyal supporters. No, they can't explain this to you properly. Sorry. I mean, this has never happened before. I've never seen anything like this. Not like this, not like this. It's another thing if there are players who, sure, even with an injury, have traveled somewhere for a day or something. But that thing about going on, I mean, a tour around Sardinia, I think that's where they've been, right? I know it just doesn't make any sense at a time when you need to recover or you're in a recovery period for an important match like El Clasico. The tests will be done this Wednesday. That's tomorrow, to see if he could be ready to play. Well, with just 2 training sessions, which is all he would have then. First, I don't think he'll make it. And then besides, it's hard for me to understand how it's possible that the Real Madrid doctors said that. Well, yes, you can travel. Sorry, you can travel wherever you want. Hey, any injury requires rehabilitation. Hey, maybe they told him there's no need for you to come here to Valdebebas. And he said, yes. Well, he just did whatever he wanted without the club giving him permission or without the club thinking that he might come up with something like this, right? But anyway, I insist, what I'm getting at is that it's perfectly compatible to criticize this like many of us are doing, and then also criticize this other thing. I mean, this campaign by trolls right now, and not trolls and not so trolls on social media with this little sign saying Mbappe out, and well, this is also generating hate because this also generates hate towards the football player. We don't want it for him or for absolutely anyone or for absolutely anyone in Real Madrid. For me, the Real Madrid players who keep wearing the Madrid jersey, I would never wish something like that on them. Is it true that this season I have mentioned some exceptions? Like, I thought the fans did well in that match against Levante with a significant booing of the team, but then I didn't think it was so good. In fact, I didn't think it was right that Benicio kept getting booed throughout the whole match. in that game against Levante in January. But did the squad know that, hey, they were being singled out after what happened with Xavi? What's more, Abelo himself also pointed at the squad saying, it really frustrates me and hurts me a lot that the opponent runs more than we do. The message has been sent. People already know perfectly well that these guys, with one coach, with another, with a third, with three coaches, haven't done their job the way they should have. Sorry, but that's how it is. That's how it is. I insist, all of them. What happens is that, of course, now Kylian is coming on top of everything, and it adds another bit of anger from the fans, which they're going to show him at the Bernabeu. We'll see if he plays another game this year at the Bernabeu. There are only the matches against Oviedo and Atletico de Bilbao left, and it will depend on whether he's ready for El Clásico or not. People have already taken note of him because that's how it is. I mean, at the Bernabeu, Mbappé has been spared a lot of the boos and all that. Unless it was collective, like that day against Levante, I can't even remember if Mbappe was there. The point is, collective ones target everyone, but individual ones, hey, he got away with it, unlike Camavinga, who has received them, not to mention Vinicius, even Valverde. Well, Ochoa, for me, Tchouaméni a while ago. Tchouaméni hasn't lately, but practically everyone, and Mbappe. I think that at the Bernabeu, he's been booed very little or not at all, and that really changes things. I think it changes things quite a bit. Now, from there to this campaign, I mean, really, you see the tweet, man, all the replies to the tweet, and it's, wait, where is this? No, it's not here. Oh, I won't be able to see it here. Here. No, I mean, it's completely full packed, but just look at this. It's packed, absolutely packed. The scare titles, but packed, man. No, it's actually scary. This is what I mean by such an intense campaign. I told you I was going to go over some from the past. Hey, with Benzema, something similar was done. Also, because it's true that social media back then, I'm talking about almost 10 years ago, maybe around 10 years, maybe a bit less, social media was powerful. And yes, it really was. Well, I think they've become more toxic, more viral, and all that. But with Benzema, something was done. It was like a buzz among the fans, right? We need another striker, but this guy can't score goals even when he's drunk, which was a low point for Benzema. Then look, he entered the Olympus of the gods. He shot up like crazy, right? That's why I say that people can often be wrong. Who knows if now Mbappé will turn this around and keep scoring the goals he's scoring, because when it comes to the number of goals, you can't say anything to him. People talk about other things, about other topics we've discussed here on this channel. Of course, both sports related and non-sports related topics like this one, and maybe in a few years we'll be laughing about this. But I do think that people, myself included, have already realized that unless this guy changes a lot, he won't remind us of Cristiano. I mean, Mbappe is not Cristiano. He's just not Cristiano. The thing is, Cristiano would never have done what this guy did, going off these days with his girlfriend at a time when he should have been recovering. Or at least you stay at home, man, and do what you have to do, go to a restaurant or whatever, but in Madrid, and you don't give people so much to talk about. And well, but anyway, campaigns like that one with Benzema, but it was nothing like this, not even close. Maybe it lasted longer. For a year or two, people said we needed a more goal-scoring number 9. Well, and that's with Cristiano on the team, but there was that campaign about his partner, and then with some other players maybe, but only in very specific cases. In this case, I think with Mbappe, just because of who he is. That's just how it is. People had a lot of hopes placed on him, but also because of his past, like when he turned us down in 2022. And what about the haters he's had since day one? Also here, when he arrived at Real Madrid, it's a very, very curious phenomenon, and I don't like at all the direction it's taking. And well, I hope things calm down a bit. I'll tell you something. I almost prefer that he doesn't even play for the rest of the season. I think he's definitely recoverable. He's a great player, an amazing player, and I hope that the coach who comes in knows how to convince him to do things right. But it's true that we used to think, hey, maybe Cristiano 2.0 is coming here. I don't think so. I really don't think so. They're different for sure. But anyway, replicating what Cristiano did is really, really tough. By the way, they're also saying today that it could be Sergio Valentin is saying that on that radio station. I know he's on paternity leave, but I didn't take advantage of it to write that today would be the meeting between Mourinho and Florentino Perez. Between Mourinho and Florentino Perez. Alberto Pereiro from Mondatero says no. He doesn't say it won't happen, just that it won't happen today. Mind you, if it's not today, it's going to be in a few days, but that there will be a meeting between Mourinho and Florentino Perez. I think everyone agrees on that. Anyway, since we don't know for sure, even though we're saying here what they're saying on his radio, but they're contradicting them from another outlet without denying the future Florentino Mourinho meeting, well, we'll leave it there just in case something happens. And there's a fact, this is something we do know because Madrid has published the medical report and it's terrible. It's terrible. About Mendy, when you read the medical report, hey, he's been diagnosed with an injury to the tendon of the right rectus femoris, subject to how it progresses. And you think, well, maybe it's not that serious. He'll just miss the rest of the season and that's fine. But no. Miguelito reported it on Cadena Cope. And in this case, Miguelito usually gets a lot of things right when it comes to injuries, but even more so with this one. He has damaged the proximal tendon of the right rectus femoris of the quadriceps, which is pretty much the same as what the statement says, the medical report published by Real Madrid. But he added a detail which, unfortunately, with this player just makes things go from bad to worse. And it's going to remind you of something that makes you think, well, anyway, I mean, what are we going to do with this guy? Apparently, it's the same thing, and we already know quite a bit about relapses here, and that's what I was getting at. I've made some videos about Real Madrid because no matter how unlucky a particular football player is, it's not normal to have so many relapses like Militao's, like Mendy's. This is about last year's Copa del Rey final, which was already over a year ago. I mean, just a few days ago, it was a year. Do you remember he recovered, got injured again, and so on? He had surgery, and it took him 4, 5, or 6 months to come back. Miguelito was saying that people should get ready for another 5 months out for Mendy. I mean, the same thing, you're not going to sell him at all. You'll have another guy, well, they're on the injured list, like Rodrigo, until, well, maybe he'll be back at Christmas. He'll return at Christmas. I mean, this, beyond the drama for the player, which is huge, affects several things. Real Madrid's medical department, of course, regarding the issue of relapses, has to have some responsibility. Then the fact is that he's a player for whom, with all this, it's very difficult for him to recover. We say the same about Militao, and I knock on wood and cross my fingers that what I'm saying doesn't happen. And that they become fully fit players again, and well, that they are 100%, and that Madrid can use them at 100% again. It's very difficult for this to happen with so many relapses, and there's also the issue of the transfer market. I mean, you have guys there who are useless, and at some point you could sell one of them, like Rodrigo, like Mendy, even though for me, Mendy is the best left back Real Madrid has. And for me, when he's fit and healthy, he's the best defensive left back in Europe and even in the world. Defensively, he's a sure thing. We've seen it this year. He completely shut down Olise. I mean, Olise, who the other day with Nuno Mendes, what's his name? Nuno Mendes. He's the left back from Paris Saint-Germain. It's just that I'm recording this late at night, not in the morning. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but in any case, the other day, Olise got past the left back from Paris Saint-Germain several times, but with Mendy, he couldn't. When Mendy is healthy, or during those few games he's played for Real Madrid in the last couple of seasons, you think, wow, what a great player. Then he gets injured again. Anyway, what a mess with this guy. Anyway, I hope everything goes well for you. Give a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.